Hello, Becky here. Welcome back to my channel. We are here for another Sunday scripture reading. So next week is Mother's Day, and I have some scriptures I would like to share for Mother's Day. But today, the week leading up to Mother's Day, I wanted to share everyone's favorite Bible verse for women and mothers and wives, Proverbs 31. Now, of course, when I googled verses about motherhood and mothers and parenting, this is the verse that came up a lot. And I like to be one of those people who picks not the typical verse that you would read for whatever thing you are reading for. Like, one of my favorite verses about marriage is where there are no oxen, the barn is clean, but by the strength of the ox, something. I can't remember, but I'll share it May 19th for wedding verses. So stay tuned for that one. But I like to pick the verses that you don't typically see when it comes to whatever topic you are discussing. But I felt like I should read Proverbs 31 as well. This is not to condemn anybody. This is not to make anybody feel bad or feel like they're not getting anything accomplished. I do these scripture verses. I just read the scripture from the NIV version, which is what my Bible is. I don't do a lot of context. This is not a Bible study. I am not a Bible theologian. We're not looking into the original Hebrew or Greek or whatever words. I'm just reading the scripture to you. But I might share a couple of thoughts on this one leading up to Mother's Day next week. So let's jump into Proverbs 31. This one's a little bit of a long one, so grab your tea with honey or coffee to energize yourself, or hot chocolate or an iced coffee. Grab a drink, settle in, let's listen to this proverb. I'm going to have a little sip of my honey tea because my throat's a little scratchy from talking a lot. And let's dive into Proverbs. A wife of noble character who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night and provides food for her family, and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arm to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. This woman is busy. She's doing all of it. Let me make a couple of comments here. One, a wife of noble character who can find? Right at the very beginning here, they're saying, where is this woman? No one can find this woman. This feels like it's written about many women, about the ideal woman. I have heard some teaching on this a long time ago. It's been a while, but there is lots of teaching about this proverb. There's a whole women's ministry about Proverbs 31 women. You can definitely do some research into that yourself and dive in a little bit more. I want to mention, some people say that a good Christian mother will be home with her kids and homeschooling and all this stuff. That's not true. If you feel called to homeschool, all the more power to you. That is amazing. And that is wonderful. I personally send my kids to public school. If you are ever made to feel guilty because you work outside the home as a mother, what do you think Proverbs 31 woman is doing? She considers a field and buys it, so she has money to buy property. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So she has earnings. She's making money somehow. She works with eager hands. She brings food from afar. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her tasks. So setting about her work vigorously, that can be outside the home or it can be inside the home. She sees that her trading is profitable. You could be working, again, outside the home. You could have a job where you work from home, but it's not taking care of the home. Like, you have a business that you run out of your home. You're trading, you're selling things, you're profitable that way. It also says, verse 15, she gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. So she has servants. She has people working for her. Now, I know in the context of when this was written, is that servants? Is that slavery? Does she have slaves working for her? I don't know. But bring it into the 21st century here. Bring it into our day now. We don't, most of us probably don't have slaves. I'm assuming you don't have slaves. I don't have slaves. But you could have people working for you. You could run a business and have actual, like, employees working under you. Or you could have a nanny who takes care of your children, and maybe somebody who takes care of the household for you while you are out working. Maybe you hire somebody to come in once a week or once a month or a few times a year to do some deep cleaning in your house. Whatever it is, you could have people working for you. I've also heard this talking about this wife of noble character is out doing all of these things. How does she have time to take care of anything? Well, she has servants. And nowadays, most of us don't have servants. We're not rich enough to have people that are like a chef or a cleaner or a nanny or a butler. I don't know. Or at least we don't have enough money to hire all of those people. I know some people who do hire like a nanny to take care of their children because it's actually cheaper than sending their kids out of the home to childcare. But they don't have, you know, a gardener and a nanny and a chef and whoever your servants would be. But nowadays we do have appliances that can help us out with a lot of things. This noble character, this wife here, she'd be having to wash her clothes and her family's clothes by hand. She would have to be cooking everything from scratch over like a fire. She wouldn't have a refrigerator or a freezer or anything to store up food that way for long periods of time. You know, she's not just running to the grocery store and grabbing a loaf of bread. That stuff has to be made from scratch. Nowadays, we have the slow cooker, the Instapot, the air fryer. We have the stove and the microwave. We have a fridge and a freezer. We have a washing machine and a dryer and a dishwasher. We have servants in our home that help us to get tasks done. I hope you can find something within these verses that doesn't feel condemning or make you feel bad that you're not doing all of it. I don't think that's the intention of these verses. God didn't pick verses in here to make us feel shamed or guilty for what we are doing. I pray that there is something in here that you can pull out that will be a blessing for you today and as you go about your week. I pray for myself this week as I am recording this in April, as this is coming out in May before Mother's Day even. Proverbs 31 verse 26, she speaks with wisdom and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Those are the two things, the two verses, that was verse 27, 26 and 27, that I am praying for myself and my household, that I will speak with wisdom, with patience, with understanding, with gentleness. I will have faithful instruction, so I will, when my kids are asking me questions, or I'm trying to teach them something, show them something, I will speak to them and teach them in a way that is honoring to God and faithful to our faith. And I will not eat the bread of idleness. Slothfulness, procrastination, laziness, those are definitely things I struggle with quite a bit. And I am just always praying that I can not be slothful, that I will not be idle, and I will find profitable things for my hands to do. I love to crochet, I love to cross stitch, and maybe one day things that I make I can sell and get a little bit of profit for. I don't know, we'll see. But that I will not be idle in what I am doing. May you all have a blessed week. I will see you next Sunday. Bye!